Okay, well, it has been a crazy couple of weeks. So, Rolly, it's what you were here Camp 1, right? And here we are all the way to Camp 3 last week. Kind of a bummer, but in many respects, I can't wait until this is over. I'm sure all of you appreciate that. It is going to it will be for all of you, though, it will be a big letdown because, even as challenging as it has been, after you spend so much time helping girls understand this a little bit better, it really, you miss it. You miss it. So that's the hard part. So I think what's going to be important is maybe we can find a way to keep a core of this going on throughout the years so that we have the ability to continue to do this and not just for 3 hellacious weeks in the middle of the summer, which turns into about 6 months actually for some of us. So it takes a long time. Hi, Vanessa. How are you? Good to see you. Oh, that's okay, Sophie, not to worry, not to worry. And that's what's the good thing about this. Nobody's going to close the door and say you can't come in after, after we get started. So, welcome back to those of you who were in Camp 1 and Camp 2. Welcome to those of you who are new to Camp 3. Can I see a show of hands if this is your first camp? So about a third. Let me just go into the next page. Okay, cool. Well, welcome. You've got a lot of support here. You are definitely not going to be on your own because we have a lot of returning survivors, some people might say, but I think it's now they're very much more experienced than they were certainly a month ago, and are going to be able to help a lot in terms of getting you up to speed with what we're trying to accomplish here. And I am really pleased that a lot of the vision that I had about what this camp was going to be has actually come to be with respect to the participation of our near peers, our junior coaches, and how nicely they've stepped up to the plate and took a big swing and are getting things done and are really helping out and contributing and getting these girls excited about a future in STEM. And I think that's a really important piece of what we're doing here, is not just bringing along the campers, but we're also giving our coaches some skills, both the senior coaches, the adults, and the junior coaches. And that's really the vision that I have. Is it's a community, and we're building a great community here, and I want to keep it going. So we have to find a way to keep this going. Okay, so what we have this camp, so we've been doing things just a little bit different. We've been tweaking it as we go along. We've got some of our former, the student becomes the teacher. So we have an instructor here to lead us through the social instruction, Serene Marderosian. And where are you from, Serene?
I'm from Glendale. I'm
Glendale.
From the Glendale branch, yeah.
And which camp did you go to?
I attended the 2017 camp in Whittier, and then I was a junior counselor for that camp in 2019.
Right. And then we're going to have Rose Bichet, who's going to help us out as the lead technical instructor. And Rose is down here and both of them actually now end up being in Southern California. And is that favoritism? I don't think so. It's hard to show favorites when you're virtual. I have to tell you, you have no idea. It's like, you could be anywhere in the world. So it's really hard to show any favoritism.
Green, what she's trying to say is I'm her favorite.
Not quite. Not quite. Maybe close. Keep working it. Keep working.
Okay.
Okay. So let's get started. I've got let me share the presentation, and then when the time comes, Serene, I'm going to let you take over. But this is going to get us kick-started here with talking about what's going on from a build coach perspective and exactly what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And Rose is going to take us through that. For those of you who are aware, we do have a convention that we use. We'll talk a little bit about it in the middle of our program, where we are going to get together with the social coaches, some of whom may be on the call. How many social coaches do I have? Or is it mostly build coaches right now? Okay, so I got a few. I got a sprinkling of social coaches. So, I think cross-pollination is good. In my opinion, I think, you need to be prepared to do a little bit of everything. No, social coaches, you're very welcome. We're going to focus on build coaches for an hour. We're going to then go into breakouts with our social coaches. Build coaches can leave after that half an hour or so of the breakout room, and then the social coaches will finish up. And the build coaches are welcome to stay through all of it too. I'm just trying to manage your time a little bit so that you're not stuck on a call where you're not being talked to directly. So let's see, share. So this is the basic, I'm not going to go through a lot of these rules. We'll go through this when we get into the build and social stuff. So right now, what we're going to do is have, let me get down to this section here. So the review materials, and they'll go into a lot more detail. Rose will go into a lot more detail. And let me spotlight you too. I'll spotlight you. They're going to go into a lot more detail about what needs to happen, and try and just give you a flavor of the important pieces. So there's a lot of information out there, and you don't need to know it all. And they're going to really be the brains that are in the main room. You're going to be the brains in the breakout rooms, and we'll go from there. So Rose, if you want to take it on, that'd be great.
Sounds good. So I'm gonna go first over our weekly, like what we're gonna do throughout the week, our schedule. And I think that's gonna help clear up some things for our newcomers here. So this is our schedule for the week. Alexis or Tara, can someone drop it in the chat, please? But
yeah, I got it.
Okay, thank you. But this is what we're gonna do all week. So Monday, we're just going to go through some of our books. So essentially we're just going to go through this entire, let me unblur myself. So usually we ask that everyone blurs themselves for the Zoom. Hold on.
Are these the ones with the hot links?
Yeah.
Yeah, the link I put in the chat is also the one with the hot links.
And that one, when I call it a hot links, for those of you who are new, it's got links to both registering for the Zoom sessions and hot links to the content for the day. That stuff you should not be necessarily passing on to your students, but you can share it in your breakout room with them. Just don't give them the link, because those are documents that are more intended for coaches for training. Some of them may be valuable, but please don't pass them on directly to the kids.
Yep. So essentially you're going to go through this book with them, and we're going to probably start in the beginning. You're just going to go to like the Monday, you're just going to pretty much go through strengths, interests, and value. And when you click like the words, it's a link. So it'll bring you up to everything you need. Sometimes there'll be like PowerPoints to show them, like this one. So, it'll go through everything that's going on. Some of the things will be done in the main room, and some of these will be done in the breakout rooms. And so breakout rooms are in yellow, and then main room is in pink. And, it sometimes varies a little bit, sometimes we run longer, sometimes we run shorter, you know how it is, but that's gonna pretty much be Monday. And then you're gonna go through a few of those things, and then you're gonna go down here after our break, and we're gonna talk about like everything that's in this kit. So if you're a build coach, you all got this kit probably, but for our build coaches, you're pretty much in charge of this kit, teaching them what this kit is, everything inside of it. That's pretty much your responsibility. And as a build coach, you're gonna want to emphasize how to make an LED and how to make a servo. And those are our biggest things and our biggest concerns, because that's what's required in your hat. So they're going to have a project throughout this week, and it's going to be to make like a physical hat out of cardboard. And they're going to need to put in some sustainability goal into it and design it and decorate it and all that good stuff, which I highly recommend you encourage your campers to try to decorate it and be creative with their hats. But the main thing in their hat is that you want them to make an LED and stick it in there somewhere, and to also stick in one of these servos. And if you don't know what that means, we're going to go over it right now. So that's going to be Monday. We're not even going to touch any of the tech. It's just going to be going over what is in the red box and teaching them like what the name of everything is, like these things, right? So then on Tuesday, we're actually going to do some of the activities. This is probably going to start on page 22 of your book. So if you grab your book real quick and turn to page 22, it's talking about like, circuits everywhere. So that's going to be where you're going to start on Tuesday. And I'm going to go over the activity and how to do everything before, like on our own in the main room. And then when they get into breakout rooms, you'll talk about it some more. And if you look at Dr. Mimi's screen, that's exactly what she's talking about. So that's our hat. And she could actually show you in a little bit when she gets it all connected, how it works and what they're trying to do. But that's going to be Tuesday. So they're going to learn how to do an LED, how to make a servo, and then program two servos together, and then program an LED and a servo together. And if we have some time right now, I'll show you guys what that's going to look like. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is essentially going to be us working on our hat, working on the coding for our hat. And, it's going to be mostly like quiet days kind of, where they're just really working to construct their hat. Wednesday, they're going to be making the physical hat. Thursday, they're going to be putting everything together, testing it. Then Friday, they're going to be filming themselves, making their presentation videos and submitting those. And that'll be like the end of camp pretty much. So that's what we're going to be doing. Does that make sense so far to everyone?
Any questions? Vanessa, have you had a chance to look at any of the Camp 2 videos yet?
Yes. My gosh. I don't know what's going to come out of Camp 3 because it's only gone like exponentially. It is crazy. I really want to share some words once the social coaches are in.
Yeah, before we go into breakouts.
It's just been a massive effort, and I'm just so impressed.
Yeah.
Thank you. So these are our hardware kits, and we're going to be going over. So this red box, that's what we're going to call it, our hardware kit. And it comes with our microcontroller, which is this right here. Can you guys all see that?
Weren't you going to set up a doc cam or something?
Yeah, I have it set up.
Rose, okay, let's try it out. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see how that works.
Can you guys kind of see that?
Is she pinned?
Yeah, I'm pinned. Okay, so this is going to be your microcontroller. It also comes with this breadboard right here. So this is your breadboard. These are your negative and positive columns right here. So those red and black lines, we're going to go over that. There's columns and then there's rows. So there's numbers on the rows, and that's how you kind of keep track of those. And then there's letters at the very top. At the very top here, there's some letters, and that's how you keep track of your columns. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Then your kit also came with some resistors. These are the resistors. It's just like this little thingy in the middle, and then a straight wire. That's our resistor. Then you got a bag of LEDs. So these are our LEDs. there's a long stick and a short stick. So can everyone kind of see that?
Uh-huh.
Here. There's a long.
Dark
long-
is better.
Okay. Let me just do this.
That's
Long
right,
stick
that's
and a short
fine.
stick.
Mm-hmm.
So the right one here, you can tell is clearly shorter than the left one. And that's going to determine whether it's positive or negative. And so we're going to go through that in our slides real quick. So let me go.
Just a comment before we get started. I noticed this on a couple of videos.
Mhm.
So make sure you explain to the kids that it's a light emitting diode. It's called an LED, not a LED.
Oh,
I heard that at least a half a dozen times. They talked about the LED. It's like, no, it's an LED.
yeah, LED. So then there's also these wires that come in your kit, red, white, and black. And these all kind of go into different places. We'll talk about that. And something, if you're kind of like, it's your first time here or you having like trouble remembering everything, I just kind of put things into baggies, and a lot of them did come in bags. And then I just kind of labeled on the bag, this is my power wires, and the black and red and white, that's what they go to. So then I always have it on my bag and I stick it into my bag, and then I never forget, and that might help you keep everything organized and, but yeah. Anyways, let me share the screen again real quick and we'll go through it on the PowerPoint.
Another tip for everybody, if you have extra wires laying around at home, you might need them. Especially if you want to add more than one LED and one servo. So if you want to get into 2 servos or multiple LEDs and servos, you're definitely going to need more wires. And so if you've got any, you might want to make sure that you've got them available along with wire cutters.
All right, so this is our microcontroller, like we showed you here. And this is like the brains of the operation. This is like your main guy, right? So here there's pins, and here there's some more pins all around here. And this is our ground right here. So usually our black wires will go into there. There's a VIN right here. And these things are labeled, like if you turn your board onto the side, you'll see all those labels. It's not like labeled on it's also labeled like right there too on the actual board, but they're also labeled on the actual pins as well. And then up here we have our digital pins, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. This is our breadboard. So, here we have our positive rail, here we have our negative rail, here we have those letters I was talking to you about. So those are what's helping you keep track of your columns. Those numbers are helping you keep track of the rows. And yeah.
And you have a repeat on both sides. So you can, you have power plus and minus on the other side too. So you can connect to either or both. You can have multiple things going on independently if you wanted to use one breadboard.
Yep. So this splits in half. So this side controls together and this side goes together. And then we have this black huge cord. This is what connects your microcontroller all the way to your computer. So that's how you'll connect that. And we have those red, white, and black wires. So let me pull those up. So it'll be these wires right here. And so for our red one, that one will go into the positive side of our power. Our black one goes into the ground, and our white one will go into signal connection. So like usually sometimes the white one will be up here in our digital pins, or sometimes down here, but yeah. And
just a note about wires really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
They're not like fundamentally power, ground, and signal. So you might get girls who are like, I want to use all my wires. I want to have 2 LEDs and 2 servos. So if it gets to a point where they need extra wires, but like having used all of them, like you can use a white wire for power.
Right.
Just make sure to communicate to them, like keep track of the wires that you're using so that they don't make an accidental short circuit or
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it, by the way. So it's like it is a possibility, a very real possibility.